Here's 5 mistakes women make that stop their fat loss. I'm Freya, co-founder of Potentia Coaching, and we've helped over 500 women to lose weight without extreme diets, without restriction, and without having to drop their social life. So if you want to jump on board too, there will be an inquiry form in the comments box below. When most women start with us, they have tried everything. Slimming World, Weight Watchers, they might follow some diets on Instagram. They may have also grown up with parents who were conscious of their weight too and created a bit of a negative environment surrounding food. But what most people don't realise is although fat loss isn't necessarily easy, it's simple. Once you nail your calorie deficit, your results will fly in. So to put it really simply, a calorie deficit is the only thing that you need to achieve to lose body fat. Body fat is just stored excess calories. So if we are deficient in calories, we will get rid of them. So a calorie deficit simply means you need to eat less calories than what you burn. So you need to look at your intake versus what your outtake is. And if you are eating less than you are burning, you will lose body fat. But there are a lot of things that people do which can make this deficit unachievable. It can make it a lot harder. It can make it feel really restrictive. So here's 5 things that women do that stop an effective calorie deficit. Number 1 is running. Now, the running itself will not stop fat loss, but the secondary effects that it can have might. So if you're watching this, you might be wanting to start your own fat loss journey, but you might be panicking thinking, I can't run, I'm not good at running, I'm so unfit. I'm here to tell you that you absolutely do not have to run. The reason running can make fat loss harder is because it is such an intense bout of exercise that actually when you get home, it could spike your hunger, which might mean that you end up eating excess calories, which can just decrease your calorie deficit. And it also may in turn make you more sedentary, which may lower your calories burn over the day. Think about it. You've gone out, you've ran, you're really tired, you get home and all you want to do is sit down on the sofa all day because you're absolutely knackered. These things are going to make your calorie deficit a lot harder to achieve and a lot less effective. So I always say, if you want to run because you enjoy running, because you want the mental clarity that it gives you, or you just want to get better at running and you want to improve your cardiovascular fitness, fantastic. But if you're just doing it from a fat loss perspective, the better alternative is setting yourself a really good step target and hitting that every day. That lower intensity movement is going to be way easier to stick to and it is not going to spike your hunger levels at all. Number 2 is overdoing the healthy fats. Healthy fats are things like egg, specifically egg yolk, avocado, nuts, olive oil, high-fat creams, cheeses and yogurts. These things generally are really healthy and they have really good benefits to us and our health. However, they come at quite a calorie cost. Your calories are made up of 3 macronutrients: carbs, fats and proteins, and fats are the most calorific per gram. So if you have a diet that is full of healthy fats, although this is healthy, it can then be very calorific and it's just going to knock you out of that calorie deficit. General guidance is if your calories are made up of about 30 to 40% fats, that's really good. Anything over that is getting to quite a high calorie, high fat diet. So unless you've been told otherwise by a health professional, it might be a really good idea to track your food and see how many grams of fat you are typically having based on your calories. It's really important that you don't cut out all healthy fats. So you might still have 2 eggs a day, you might still use some olive oil to cook, you might have some cheese with your dinner. But from a fat loss perspective, it's really important to not go overboard with these so you can maintain your calorie deficit. Number 3 is the weekend wine, or more specifically, just drinking alcohol on the weekend. You could be so good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but then when Friday hits, you might go, oh, let's crack a bottle of wine open after work, and then that can lead into Saturday, and then also a glass of wine, for example, with your Sunday roast. It's no secret that alcohol has absolutely no nutritional value whatsoever, and it is going to skyrocket your calories alongside then potentially a drunk meal or a hungover binge the next day. But If you do like a drink on the weekend, there are some tactics that you can follow. The first is looking at what you're actually drinking. Wines, beers and cocktails typically have the most calories. So if you can opt for something like a gin and a slimline tonic, you are going to cut your calories in half. Prosecco is also a good option. Just make sure that if you do have, say, a vodka and coke, it is a vodka and diet coke, or if you have a gin and lemonade, that it is diet lemonade. Another tactic is looking at the frequency of your drinking. This can be split into two. First of all, can we ditch the Friday night drinking and just have something on a Saturday night? And then the other side to that is, can we slow down the pace of your drinking? You might mindlessly knock back a couple of glasses of wine or a couple of vodka diet cokes, when actually if we slowed that down, overall you are going to decrease the amount that you've drank. So can we have one alcoholic drink paired with one soft drink? Or can we be double parked and have a sip of an alcoholic drink and then a sip of a soft drink? You are going to drastically decrease the amount of alcohol that you drink. And then my last tactic is, can you prep for that hangover? Most of the time, people will go out drinking and then feel rubbish the next day, which then leads to a binge, it leads to a McDonald's breakfast, it leads to really high calories the next day. So if we can get a food shop in so that you are totally prepped for that hungover day, you are going to cut your calories in half. Number 4 is under eating in the day. Do you have a slice of toast for breakfast, then go to work and just have a cup of soup, think that you're absolutely nailing it, and then raid the cupboards when you get home? I hear this time and time again, where women come to me and they say, I don't know where I'm going wrong, I genuinely don't eat a lot in the day. But you will lose fat if you are controlling your calories. So often what that means is the day is really low calorie and then you get home and suddenly the cupboards have been raided before dinner. My main advice is just eat more in the day, because you're going to reduce that hunger spike when you get home by a lot. Make sure that each meal has some protein in it, so you might have some Greek yogurt for your breakfast and then some chicken breast or some beef mince or some ham for your lunch. And then when you get home, you will be able to see yourself through till dinner, and as an average, you will then bring your calorie value down. No more soup or pot noodle on its own for lunch. Number 5, and my final point for this video, is stop eating your children's leftovers. Often what happens is the kids will get back from nursery or school, you'll make their dinner early, and then you're sat there, you're hungry yourself, so if they've left some of their chicken nuggets and chips on their plate, of course you are going to want to eat them. But unfortunately, that is going to skyrocket your calories, especially if you then go on to have dinner yourself. So here's what I do. The first is eat with them. In an ideal world, they'd eat the same foods as you. I understand that that isn't always possible, but try and make your food and have it at the same time as they have theirs. You are then going to be eating, you are not going to be as hungry, and those chicken nuggets and chips that they are eating are not going to seem quite as appealing. This is where meal prep comes in handy. If you meal prepped on a Sunday and had your meals ready to go just to ping in the microwave, it's going to be quick, it's going to be simple, and you're going to stick to it. The second is just tuning in to being mindful. Sometimes you'll grab that chicken nugget or grab the chips without even thinking, but if you bring your calorie deficit to the forefront of your mind and actually mindfully eat, you're going to be way less likely to do this. And then the last is, sometimes willpower just isn't enough and you are just going to eat their food. So we need to allow for some extra calories for this. So if you are tracking your food, allow for 100 to 200 extra calories to compensate for this. So they are my 5 mistakes that women make for fat loss and how to combat them. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.